What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizon for another daily news video on this Monday. World Cup is being played while I'm recording, so that's that. But we're gonna talk a little bit about Juve. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, hit that bell notification, and yeah, let's get into the news. I predicted that the news will be heating up. In the second week slash third week of the World Cup, when we halfway through about it, in it basically. Still early. January transfer window is still kind of far away, but there are more and more interesting leaks or like news stories that we can actually do something with basically. And the first one is about Paredes. If you remember correctly, excuse me. I think last week during a video we were talking about Paredes. I think it was a Rovella story. The Man City scouts were watching him, and I said like it depends on Paredes and all those things because there are options, but we never actually knew what the options were. Basically, like we were just guessing a little bit. And Gazette dello Sport came and explained to us what one of the options are and one of them was making the the second stage of the Champions League, which of course we're not gonna do, and that was one of the options that would make the Paredes deal permanent, basically. Now that this basically opens for me a lot of doors because we don't know what the other options are. I expect minutes played, position in the league, assists. I'm not sure about that. I'm going guess minutes played or games played, whatever you want to call it. I'm expecting that. So the next couple of months are going to be very interesting. In are we going to use Paredes a lot? When there are games probably where you are like, why is he not playing? Player X Y is injured, or like, he's not playing well. Then if that starts to happen, I think that's not a proof, but like that's one of the things that could point to, okay, it's about minutes played and all those things. And it's it's a big question mark. If I think at this point I would say, yeah, we're not gonna use that option if we have basically the freedom to choose. We're not gonna do it because keep in mind he is on a lot of money, way too much money. And I do like Paredes, but he's not worth 7.5 or 7 million euros a season. Like he's not. You don't want that on your wage book. You really don't. At this point of the club state, basically financial situation, you don't want that. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what we're gonna do, moving forward. Because if Paredes keeps developing as he is developing, as he should be developing, then I think the club will, it should be kind of a no brainer. Like you're gonna save a lot of money you need to reinvest in different positions, like just a must. So we need to keep an eye out on that. I do think he's gonna play a great World Cup, so stay tuned for that. But according to Gazette dello Sport, one of the options, yeah, we're not gonna meet. That's obvious. Then let's move on to basically the hottest topic of the transfer mercato at this point, and that's that back position. And it's again about Karsdorp. Every time I read that name, I want to cry a little bit more. He's not good. Like I'm gonna be very nice. I've watched him many times when he was playing in the Eredivisie. I never understood how he made that jump to the Serie A. Like I just can't. Every time I watch him play, I'm like, I don't get it. Same like Dumfries. I still don't get why he's playing in Serie A. It's actually unbelievable. If you have seen him play today, you will probably kind of understand. A lot of Inter fans are saying the same. He has his moments, but like overall, that's not what you want in your team in Karsdorp. Like you don't want that guy in your team. I don't even want him on loan. I don't think I don't think that's gonna move the needle for us. I don't think that's gonna be the difference in actually. I can be completely wrong, but from what I've seen, I don't believe that for one bit. That he's gonna move the needle. That he's gonna be the difference in winning more points, getting more points. I just don't think he's a good player, and he didn't show up for training. I think that's obvious. The relationship with Mourinho is done, and he's ready to leave in January on loan. Juve and Marseille have asked for info this from Nico Shira. The rumors out there, I'm just praying at this point. That is false. Like I just don't want it. Not even on loan. Um, I don't understand the move. I just don't. If you want to talk about adding depth in terms of players, yes. If you are talking about adding quality, then you I'm lost. Like I'm not there. So for me, that's a no. Uh, I hope it's false. It's that simple. Let's move on to the Chesney news, which we were kind of waiting for when we were linked with Vicario. Uh, you know, paying 50 to 20 mil, leaving him on loan. Everybody was confused. And now you're getting this news from Tuttosport saying Chesney is seen as one of Allegri's loyalists. His contract expires in 24 with an option until 25. But in the event of a good offer, he could leave, giving his high salary. The World Cup will represent a showcase for him and an opportunity for Juve. Uh, Going off the story, the Vicario loan for a year and a half, news, all those things makes kind of sense. 24, you move him on, you move Perin in or Vicario, whatever is the case. I think that's where we're going at. Not this summer. I think we're moving towards farewell from Chesney in 24. I think that makes more sense. Again, unless an offer comes in, but he is on 7 mil. I keep that in mind. What team is going to pay him 7 mil? It needs to be a top team. Every top team has a goalkeeper. So it's not going to happen. Like, it's very, very unlikely that he's going to leave until next summer. Uh, Summer 24. I'm talking about. But the Vicario news makes a little bit more sense at this point. If it's a loan for a year and a half, it makes more sense. But for now, I just don't see it this summer. I just don't see an offer coming in on top of that club willing to pay his wages. I just don't see it. But that's the news, which we were kind of waiting for after the Vicario news. But let's move on. We move on to Fabrizio Romano talking about Iling Jr. That's something we are all waiting for, I think. He's out. He should be back when the Serie A restarts. And I think he can be very important for us along the season. Coming from that bench, giving you that spark, which he showed he can do. I think he's an extra weapon. And it's a shame that he got injured. But he will be back. He will be back. He's out of contract. So Romano saying Juve are working to extend his contract as feelings are now very positive. Negotiations are in progress. Talks will continue in order to reach a full agreement soon. I think he's gonna sign. If you lose him, it's worrying. It's a bit worrying if you lose him, because he looks like a very good player. And I think you need to excuse me. I think you need to sign him. It's that simple. 23, 24, 5. At least until 26. Like, that should be the minimum deal. 26. I don't think he is gonna play a lot with the under 23s. I don't think he should. I think he should be being integrated into the first team, because he showed that he can make a difference when he comes on. It's that simple. He can. Excuse me. He has that burst. It's that simple. So I'm positive. I think he's gonna sign a new deal, 26, 25, whatever. I think it's a good move. If it doesn't work out in the end, okay. If it does, it's very low risk in my opinion, and it could save us a lot of money down the line. I think that's the most important thing at this point, because again, Sandro. If you watch Bonucci, I didn't watch the All-Star game. I just read the match report. He was awful again. You need to play Squadrado, Di Maria, so you're going to need a lot of money. It's that simple. It's that situation we are in now. So I'm going to say, yeah. Moving on. Final bit of news. Another youngster, Sule. who I think is gonna leave on loan. Um, I had that feeling. I'm gonna say I had that feeling towards the end of the summer. He got a few minutes. He played. He started against Verona. A few days before he came on against Maccabi, had made a good impression, and then against excuse me, I think it was Lecce, not Verona. Lecce. I thought he was decent. He was decent. He wasn't amazing or whatever, but he was decent. But he needs to play. He needs to play. Empoli. I think Empoli is a good move. I think Empoli is a good team to develop, and I think it would be the best move because I don't think he's gonna play a lot. If you would you would expect Di Maria to stay healthy, but even if not, I think it's kind of clear that he's not gonna play. Allegri's not gonna play him too much in terms of okay, he's gonna make big progress. I don't believe that. So if that's the case, I hope he will leave on loan. I think Empoli is a very good move on loan. I just want him to play. Like he needs to play. Like sitting on the bench for another 6 months is not gonna help us. It's not gonna help him. Like let's be completely honest. But let's see if he's gonna loan out. Excuse me, is going to be loaned out. I'm happy it's a team like Empoli instead of a team like Verona, like one of those teams, you know, we usually get linked with Sampdoria. We're like, oh my god, please don't. Then sit on the bench. Um, but I think he's gonna move on loan. But let's see. It's still early. You never know. But I expect that he's gonna move on loan. But that's the news for today. Again, excuse me for my voice. I'm sick, so it's kind of gone towards the end. But thanks everybody for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Do watch our World Cup content. Every match day, me and Julian will do our predictions. He will rate every Juve player after the first match day. So check that out. Also, he's gonna do an under 23 report with players we should be looking at, and actually players we are looking at according to Tuttosport. That's why I didn't add it into the video because Julian, is gonna do a complete scouting video on that. So stay tuned for that, and then yeah, enjoy the World Cup, and we will see you back tomorrow. Ciao.